This VoIP Detective video will discuss pulling end user information from Cisco Call Manager into VoIP Detective. Previously, VoIP Detective introduced the concept of display names. The idea was to take what were previously only numeric extensions shown in your reports and add actual employee names. We would go through and put an extension and a name. While this works great, it can be very tedious if you've got several thousand end users in Call Manager to actually manually input those into VoIP Detective. So what we do is we enable a read-only sync from Call Manager into VoIP Detective. Step one would be to go to support.voipdetective.com, and under installation, you will find instructions on how to set up the Call Manager side of this synchronization. Once that's complete, we'll go into the VoIP Detective configuration and enable a sync. We will put in the IP address of our Call Manager. We will choose which field on the end user page in Call Manager we would like to sync to. This can be either the telephone number field or the primary extension field. Simply look inside your Call Manager, determine which of those two fields has the appropriate end user extension. We will enter our Call Manager read-only Axel username, and we will enter our password. Okay, at that point, we wait for the midnight synchronization. I've sped things up a bit, and the import has finished. At this point, by going to administration logs, we can see in the cron log that we were able to successfully import records. Now, when we go to our display names, we're able to see not only the ones that were manually input, we can also see files that were synchronized with Call Manager. Every night at midnight, this synchronization will occur. If there is a display name user entered, if we already had someone with 42134, that person would be overwritten by the nightly synchronization. Similarly, if we deleted Elton John now, he'd simply reappear with our next nightly sync. The proper way, if this user is actually no longer with the organization, simply delete them from Call Manager, and they will not be re-imported. This is an example of an all-call report that was run before the Call Manager synchronization. We can see extensions and numbers that were dialed. However, this is what we see after the Call Manager synchronization. For users that were matched, like Peter Parker and Barney Rubble, their names are populated as part of the report. This can make reporting much more user-friendly. This includes both the reports that run through this web interface as well as reports that are exported and scheduled. As I mentioned, the Call Manager synchronization occurs every night at midnight. The process is that any user that is marked as synced with Call Manager is first deleted. So all synchronized users are deleted, purged from the VoIP Detective, and they are re-imported. So that way, users who are no longer with the organization do not linger inside of VoIP Detective. Not only do you have the option of synchronizing with a single call manager node, you can sync with two different clusters. Uh, the way this works is that step one, all users are purged on the nightly sync. Then VoIP Detective syncs with Call Manager 1. And if you have a second cluster, you can actually enter that in as well, and that will be synced. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, simply reach out to the support site, at which place you can submit a new support ticket or check on existing tickets.